Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're presented by Knowledge Sharing Podcast, and I'm your host. Today, we're jumping into something really fascinating. Goal setting, God's way, vision, planning, and divine interruptions. Our mission, like always, is to take a whole lot of insight and boil it down, distill it into wisdom you can use right away, helping dreams, maybe tight schedules, or those totally unexpected detours life throws at us. Yeah, so whether you're maybe starting a new path yourself, or you're an educator shaping young minds, perhaps a parent trying to model wisdom for your kids, or even a professional looking for more purpose in your work, this is for you. We're going to explore how we can balance our own plans, our ambitions with a humble reliance on guiding principles, and yeah, even those surprising turns. So let's kick things off with a really profound idea from Proverbs 16.9. It says, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." That's quite something, isn't it? It holds both things at once, our part in planning, but also this dependence on something bigger.
It really is. And what's so interesting is that it's not really a contradiction. It's more like a harmony. It absolutely affirms our ability, our minds, our drive to look ahead and figure out steps. That's part of how we're made. But yeah, connecting it to the bigger picture, it's this powerful call to humility, to kind of invite a divine hand to guide, maybe redirect, even, improve our path in ways we just couldn't see ourselves. It basically says planning is good. It's wise, actually.
A harmony. I like that.
Yeah.
But I think for many of us, it can feel like a real struggle sometimes, finding that balance. How do we stop our planning from just becoming, well, an attempt to control everything instead of good stewardship? Where's that line?
That is such a key question, and Scripture itself actually encourages purposeful evaluation. Think about what Jesus said in Luke 14.28. He asked basically, who starts building a tower without first sitting down, figuring out the cost, seeing if they have enough to finish?
Right, the tower builder. Good example.
It is, isn't it? It shows that thinking ahead, preparing, calculating, it's not just okay. It's necessary. You wouldn't wing a major construction project. And it's the same for, say, an educator putting together a curriculum, or parents making a big family decision, or a professional launching something new. That intentional thinking is vital.
Okay, so we're meant to engage our minds, use our resources actively, not just sit back. But then, if we also need to be flexible, how detailed do these plans need to be? Is there a risk of over-planning?
Ah, yes. That's where the idea of holding loosely comes in. It's so crucial. Even the best, most detailed plans need to stay flexible. They need to be submitted, open to that higher leading. And that openness isn't just like a nice idea. It's essential for peace and honestly for effectiveness, too.
Yeah.
You plan like it's all up to you, maybe, but you move forward knowing it ultimately rests on a greater purpose. It's kind of a dance, intentionality and surrender.
A dance. I like that visual. And speaking of plans and purpose, that brings us to time itself.
Yeah.
Friends, time. It's this incredible gift. It's finite. And the big one, it's non-renewable. Once a moment passes, poof, it's gone. You don't get it back.
Which really makes you ask, how are we actually stewarding this incredibly precious, limited resource? You look at Ephesians 5, verses 15 to 17. It urges us to redeem the time. That literally means like buy back the time, to live wisely, managing every moment carefully because, as it says, the days are evil. It's a powerful call to be intentional in a world that just constantly pulls us in a million directions.
Redeem the time. I love that phrasing. So this idea of planning, managing our time, it's not about becoming robots, right? Trying to control every single second. It feels more like it's about protecting ourselves from what someone called the tyranny of the urgent. All those things that scream for attention right now, emails, unexpected calls, daily fires. It's about making sure we actually invest our time, our hours, in what truly matters long term, what bears fruit, instead of just reacting all day.
Exactly. Think about it practically. For a teacher, redeeming time might mean really blocking out specific time for deep lesson planning, not letting admin tasks or sudden issues just swallow the whole day. It's proactive shaping of the learning space.
Makes sense.
Or for parents, maybe it looks like deliberately setting aside, say, 15 minutes of totally focused playtime with a child, protecting that connection time from chores or phones buzzing.
Yeah, that's hard, but so important.
It is. And for a professional, it's about prioritizing those high-impact projects aligned with your actual goals, not just getting caught in the churn of low-value stuff. It's mindful allocation. That's the key.
Yeah.
Mindful allocation of your most valuable resource, not letting it just dribble away.
Okay, this is getting really practical now. So we have this understanding of divine intention, the value of time. The big question is still, how do we do it? How do we translate all this into real goals while still keeping our hands open for those inevitable detours? Where's the starting point?
The starting point is prayer, genuinely. Step one is asking, okay, God, what do you want for this season, for this project, for my life right now? Proverbs 16.3 gives us the foundation. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. And that's not just a nice religious phrase, it's fundamental. It's about inviting the divine right into the very beginning of your vision. That immediately shifts it from just my ambition to maybe partnership. And honestly, that often opens up paths we never would have considered, more fruitful paths usually.
Okay, so starting with prayer, discerning,
Yeah.
then what? Do we just keep it all floating around in our heads, like a vague idea?
No, definitely not. The next really practical step is write your goals down. The actual physical act of writing them down makes a huge difference. It cements the commitment. It takes it from a wish to an intention.
I've heard that before, that writing goals down makes you more likely to achieve them.
It's true. Studies back it up. So for a student, that might be specific study targets written out. For a parent, maybe a written family mission statement, something you can look at. For a professional, clear project milestones. Once it's written, then yes, you take action. But, and here's the crucial bit again, you hold those written plans loosely. Like one source said, be ready for daily course corrections. You need that agility. It creates this really healthy rhythm. Vision, plan, act, yield. Vision, plan, act, yield. That's kind of the heartbeat of setting goals God's way. It's not about scrapping the plan at the first hurdle, but being flexible enough to adjust your sails if the wind changes, trusting that maybe that shift is also part of the journey.
Right. But here's where it gets interesting, right? The reality check. Life almost never follows our neat plans perfectly. Sometimes, just when you think you're cruising along, bang, you hit what we might call a divine interruption. I know I've had those moments.
Oh, absolutely. And there's this incredibly powerful real-life example from history that shows this so clearly. It's the Apostle Paul's second missionary journey. He and Silas, his companion, they had a very clear plan initially. Logical. Go into Asia, what's modern-day Turkey, to spread the message. It made sense strategically based on where they'd been successful before.
Okay, seemed like a solid plan, but something stopped them. It wasn't just a small delay, was it?
No, not at all. The account in Acts chapter 16 is really specific. It says the Holy Spirit prevented them. First, it says they were forbidden to speak the word in Asia. Then they tried to go another way, towards Bithynia, and it says the Spirit of Jesus wouldn't allow them.
Wow, like hitting roadblocks.
Exactly. Not just gentle nudges, but clear blockages of their well-intentioned plan. So they were redirected, ended up in a place called Troas, probably feeling a bit, well, confused, frustrated maybe, wondering what was going on.
And it was there, in Troas, that Paul had the vision, right? The man from Macedonia saying, come over and help us. That's a huge pivot.
Immediate and profound. And the speed they acted on it is amazing. They didn't sit around debating it for weeks. They took the vision as direct guidance and immediately set sail for Macedonia, which is Europe.
Europe wasn't even on their map originally.
Not on their itinerary at all.
So what happened? What was the result of that unexpected shift crossing the Aegean Sea?
That pivot, that immediate turn towards Europe, it literally changed the course of history. That was the doorway for Christianity into the European continent. It led to churches being planted in places like Philippi, Thessalonica, Corinth, places foundational to Western thought and culture. Imagine for a second if Paul had just stubbornly insisted on his original Asia plan, ignored the roadblocks, ignored the vision. Western civilization could look entirely different.
That's incredible.
It really is, and the story just powerfully illustrates this point. Sometimes the Spirit interrupts our very best plans precisely because there are doors we haven't even imagined, doors leading to something much bigger. The trick is being tuned in enough to notice the redirection and brave enough to follow it.
Wow. That's a lesson in trust and flexibility right there. Okay, so how do we take that huge lesson and kind of bring it into a practical framework for our own lives when we're planning, but also facing those interruptions?
Well, one helpful way to think about it is using 3 overlapping circles, like a Venn diagram for your goals. The first circle is healthy growth. These are things that are just generally good, beneficial for well-being, yours and others. Think personal development, health, good relationships, basic good stuff. The second circle is barrier-breaking growth. This is where you need to push past limits, tackle challenges, maybe break old habits or patterns that are holding you back, learning a tough new skill, having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. And the third circle, the really key one here, is God's purpose. This is about aligning with something bigger than just you, recognizing your unique calling, how your efforts fit into a larger divine plan.
Okay, so 3 circles. Healthy growth, barrier-breaking growth, and God's purpose. And the idea is to aim for where they all overlap, the intersection.
Exactly, that sweet spot where all three come together. That's where your goals are most likely to be sustainable, truly impactful, and spirit-aligned. So for an educator, right, your lesson plan isn't just about delivering information, healthy growth. It's also about helping students overcome learning obstacles, barrier breaking, and ultimately it's aligned with the bigger purpose of cultivating wisdom and character.
Got it.
For parents, your family routines, maybe consistent bedtimes or eating together, healthy growth, are also about patiently working through challenges, like a child's behavior, barrier breaking, all serving the larger purpose of raising resilient, grounded kids.
Mhm.
And for professionals, your projects, they're not just tasks. They advance purpose and show integrity when they hit that sweet spot. Maybe developing a product that genuinely helps people, healthy growth, tackling a tough market problem, barrier breaking, while serving a deeper purpose like ethical business or community benefit. It makes the work meaningful, not just busy.
That framework really does give a clear lens for looking at our goals, big or small. Okay, let's pause for a second and invite you, listening right now, to apply this. Just take a moment. Think about one vision, one goal that's on your heart right now. Personal, family, work, community, whatever it is. And maybe ask yourself a few key questions based on what we've discussed.
First one. Did you actually start with prayer? Did you genuinely ask, what's the desire here beyond my own? It's not just checking a box, it's inviting guidance right from the start.
Second, is that goal written down somewhere, like physically written, to make it concrete, move it from just a thought into an intention?
Third, do you have a realistic schedule or rhythm for working on it? Something that honors time as a gift, but also, importantly, allows for life's twists and turns. Realistic means flexible, often.
Yeah, good point. Fourth, are you really open to those spirit-led shifts? Are you prepared for potential interruptions, seeing them maybe as redirections, not just frustrations?
And lastly, can you commit to maybe a weekly reflection? Just checking in. What's moving forward? And just as vital, what might be redirecting me? Not judging, just discerning, asking, is the path shifting under my feet?
The whole idea here is for your life to feel more like a curiosity-fueled journey towards your calling. Whether you're teaching, parenting, leading, whatever you're doing, this approach can make even small actions feel meaningful. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? What does it all mean? I think our deep dive today really shows that the most powerful, impactful goal setting isn't just about smart planning or just about faith. It's that potent combination of both. Wise, intentional planning married to a deep reliance on a larger guiding purpose.
Yeah.
Human agency and divine establishment working together.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, educators trying to spark wonder, parents modeling that blend of planning and flexibility, professionals aiming for excellence with integrity and reliance, you're definitely not alone in navigating this. It's a shared journey, this blend of ambition and surrender.
So we'll leave you with that core truth from Proverbs 16.9 to chew on as you go about your week. You plan. God establishes. Trust Him. Let that just sit with you. Maybe be a provocative thought for your own next steps, encouraging you to dream big, plan wisely, but always with open hands.
It's such a good reminder, isn't it, that our best work, when we offer it up, when it's aligned with something bigger, it becomes part of something way more significant than we could ever manage just on our own steam.
Well said. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope this exploration helps you to dream boldly, plan prayerfully, use your time wisely, and walk right into whatever unfolding surprises your purpose holds. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.